Yeah, I'm back. Mm, Sorry about that. But I'm gonna come on here for. Oh yeah. Oh, I know what I came on here for. 'Cause, having a little time to myself before I have to get my ass up in the morning and go out there and sell some baskets. And hopefully I do well. You know, hopefully. Well, I can't. I forgot. Look. I am. Look. I am going to do well. I forgot. You got to start saying that more. I am, not hopefully. Hopefully, doubting. You know, it's just like worrying and praying. If you're gonna be worrying still, and you try to pray about whatever you're trying to get over or overcome, and you worrying so much, you shouldn't pray. But I shouldn't say that. But that's what I feel. I have not been the only person that has felt like that. I mean, you're just wasting your time. I mean, but at the same time, God still's watching over you, and He knows what you're going through, and He got you. You know, you got to put the work in. You just can't expect Him to do what He can do for you. But yeah, that ain't why we're here. I get to preaching. But yeah, I'm just enjoying my time. Just enjoying my time for the time being. You know, I don't always get alone times. Not all the time. But today I did some things that I hated that I shared with some people that I was doing them with, because now they want me to do like some more creative ideas. It's just an easy concept. And I look, for me, if it's an easy concept and I know for a fact that I can can complete it, you know, I'm gonna do that. I can do it. And I did like two baskets today, and I was just like, shit. If y'all want to reach a certain goal for these things, let me help you out. Because I know the people that's doing it right now, they are going out. They got other things that they are taking care of. And when I was over there, I shouldn't have had my phone playing. You know what happened? I think I may have left. I think I was watching somebody, and I think my mama heard it. Now, my mama is very, very. I don't know why she's like this, but this gets on my nerve. She gets to the point where she does not like for me to watch certain things, but at the same time, I'm grown, so I'm gonna watch whatever I want to watch. But whatever I'm watching, I try to make sure that she doesn't hear it, because she repeats herself a lot. They don't know this. I know it. I sometimes have to remind her. We already had a conversation about that. You remember you told me. A lot of people. And I noticed that too about being a listener, because I'm working on my listening skills. You know, um, a lot of people be repeating themselves a lot. I think I did that a lot too when I was in, maybe 20 something. But I had to kind of watch that, because I don't want people thinking I was doing that on purpose. But I don't know. I don't know if people notice it, that they do it. But I notice it a lot. Like, you already told me this already. You told me this last week, and you're just now bringing that back up to me again. You know. But anywho, but I just get tired of hearing the same old about whatever I'm putting my attention to when it comes to entertainment, because I'm not saying anything about some of the things that she listens to. I don't, I can listen to it, but let's be real. People that are educated, hell, they may want to watch other things that's not so educational, But at the same time, they still gonna have that in their memory on how to do something, you know, anything. Some people say people that are smart, they're not street smarts, but I think that's it's a up and down, you know, it's up and down. Because I mean, you can meet some people that's from the gutter of the guttiest, the gutter of the guttiest. Look, I'm gonna tell you that, like, it's the truth, and they be really really smart, or they just be from a small town, and they from a really really small town, and they come out to be a millionaire, you know, and they be like right here in deep in the South. Yes, indeed. And I gotta backtrack on a statement that I did say. I did say something that was kind of a little silly, but I guess me judging somebody that came from a small town here, um, my perception of them, I don't know, it was more than one person, but I was just like, well, okay, but everybody's not like that. Everybody's not like that, even though they are, people that are from different parts of the state can be very, wild and like very, very a little bit different than city people. Like I don't know. When I last time I've been was some years ago, and I didn't like it. I was waiting to get back home to the city because the people that I was around, they were being mean to me, and well, not mean to me, but the way they was, well, it was a woman. Yeah, it was just a woman. Just, I mean, I didn't even do nothing to her, but she was coming at me about what I had on and thinking I'm trying to impress her and telling me this and telling me that. Even her own son, he was a teenager. She was like a teenager. Her own son, because I was with my friend at the time, but we ain't friends no more. Thank God. Don't tell me. I ain't gonna tell you. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why, because I ain't helping you out no more. But yeah. But yeah, his son, her son had niggas in the house. And I was like, damn, you only a teenager and you got all these niggas in your house. Your mom over here sitting up, sipping over on, sipping on a pint, of quality house. Oh, like, oh my goodness, this is how you live. You allow your kids to be. I wouldn't dare allow nobody. Look, I wish not even grown folks, not kids, not grown folks, not. If I had my own domain, you know, humble above, um, I wouldn't be allowing people to be in my house at a certain time, and I wouldn't be allowing, the people that is under that roof of mine to be bringing company in and out. Because see, I was smart as a kid, and I was very, very slick. I used to use WD-40. Sometimes to open up the screen. You got the metal, the metal door. Well, not metal door, but it's steel door. Whatever. It's probably, I think it's just metal. Metal, yeah. Yeah, it's metal. Yeah. You got the metal door, and then you got the other door, which is the screen door, and the screen door makes a lot of sounds. So you gotta kill that. You gotta open it up. You gotta, if you want to sneak out, you gotta open up kind of slowly. Oh my goodness! I don't want to give anybody ideas that may be a child listening to this, because it's not right. It's not right to do that. You have to always, ask if you can go out. If you can't go out, stay inside. Don't do what I did, because you'll get your ass beat nowadays, or someone will try to do something to you that you probably will regret. But yeah. But at the same time, I was just I was getting out there pretty much good enough there. But at the same time, I was right up the street. Shit, it was times where I was spending night at my friend's house, and it was on girls. I told you guys I always gravitated around girls more, and I had a few homeboys, in middle school. Well, no, well in high school. Yeah, it was in high school. But shit, hell, you couldn't trust them niggas. You couldn't trust them. And, they start acting different. And so, hey, our time came and left. And I'm not asking why to be my friend. I don't give a damn if I see them niggas to this day. I don't speak to a lot of folks. I know that that's bad, but I don't. Why they speak to you for? And I don't want, because I don't like a lot of people in my face and talking to me. And then they get all mad when you don't agree with them, or they want to know your beliefs and shit. And like, why you want to know all that? What is that? What is the point about? What is the point for that? I don't understand it. Like you accept me for what we are going to talk about, which is what I would prefer. I wouldn't prefer for you to be, all in my face about something that I don't give two rat's ass about. And a lot of folks that are like that, like it's like they don't grasp that you don't really care about what the f they're talking about. It's like, especially after you done had a long ass day, or you done had some shit go down that you wasn't too much in agreement about. Get your ass back over here. Get back over here. Why would you want people in your face? Let's like talking in the morning. I don't always like to talk in the morning. Sometimes I may want to just be on mute and quiet. I will talk, but sometimes I have moments where I just be want to just look on my phone and be in quietness. I don't know if I'm with somebody. I don't mind them talking to me. because I'm happy with being with them. But if it's not the, if that's not the case, I just prefer, let me have a little known time. I don't need nobody bothering me. I will tell my phone do not disturb, but I can't always do that because I never know who need me or something may go down that I need to know about. So y'all, sometimes you guys gotta watch that out there. I know y'all be having them bugaboos out there, but always leave that phone on because you just never know. Just never know. And that's just being safe too. Wherever you may be at, because my phone was always on. I just didn't have the lifts and app, the lifts and the Ubers. That's the only thing I'd fuck up at, if I was, out there in the streets and doing what I was doing. But yeah, pretty much comfortable just being by myself, baby. Okay, being by myself and just enjoying me. And it's gonna stay like that for a little while. For a little while. For a little while. Yes, indeed. I need to be more, in tune with self and get to know, certain things and other things and this and that, whatever who may be with me for the time being, hmm about them, and they can know this about me too, and that, you know, if I let them. I'm sorry, you guys. I be getting distracted. I'm trying to send some things out. My bad. But today, well, I can't talk about that today, but I can talk about it. But today, oh my goodness, I had, did something online that I was so happy that I did, and I was really, really shocked that I was really doing it. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I started to go back and back and forth and forth and back and back and forth and forth. Like, yeah, I had got a rush because I haven't been on the site in a minute. It's been about 2 years, probably, or a year and a half. No, I think it's about 2 years. It got to be like 2 years since I last got anything from these people. So I hope I get it. Shoot, I'm getting things that I'm just getting some things right now, but I just don't want to go into detail about that. It's just other things so like I need, personally. But yep, yes indeed. But that really tripped me out about my mama and her comments about my entertainment, choices that I choose to watch. I'm gonna always watch them. Don't get mad at me. It'll be all right. Sorry about that. But yes indeed. I'm like, I'm always gonna do what I want to do. You do what you do. I'm always do me. I don't give a damn what they. I could take heed to certain things, but at the same time, I'm gonna grasp life like they did, like their parents did, and like their parents did. Yes, it's a generation, from generations to generations. You know, it's not a manual out here. All you gotta do is just pay attention, and if you don't know something, if you don't know too much about something, just Google it, or uh, um, Google it, or oh shit, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm getting distracted. Google it or YouTube it. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to watch this damn dog because he like to go into other people's yards and drinking water. I don't like that. He hungry, but he's not getting nothing else to eat tonight. I fed him good today. He been eating good. I'm surprised he ain't attacking them bunnies. He sees them, but he's not willing to attack. Look at him. Look at him, y'all. I wish I can zoom in, but I can't. I don't want to mess up anything. Look at him. The bunny's over there on the other side, of someone else's yard, the neighbor yard. And my dog was just on his side, he just looking at him, thinking he's finna attack him. He ain't finna do nothing though. Go on and get him. Why you scared for, Cass? Go on and get him. Why you scared? Don't be scared. If anything, he's more scared of you than you are of him. I'm just saying. That's what they say about animals, but wild animals are not like that. I would say any animal's really not like that. They'll bite you. Any species, I guess it depends, I guess if you raise them. But I don't know. I guess it can go both ways. Some could come out like that, and some could be raised like that. I don't want my dogs to be mean, but at the same time, I do want them to have a little streak in them, so they don't, I don't want nobody fucking, around my shit, so they can, handle that for me if I'm gone, But I'm just putting it out there and it's, to the universe. But I got something I got to tell you guys this too. That's kind of under my skin. So I know a person. I can't say no names, but I'm gonna be very, very subliminal on this one. I got to be. I can't just be so too honest with it like that on here. You know how you folks is. Some of you guys. I'm not talking about the ones in the chat. But what I was gonna say. How come a person that that's up in age, they haven't made a decision on who they want to give their property to? And my thing is, my dog finna go try to go get that. Oh no, not yet. And my thing is, if you haven't did that, and this person also doesn't want people that are related to them to have it, but he want another side to have it, why do you not have trust in biological blood? Why would you trust another side of that another side that is biological too? But why wouldn't you, why if they're not doing nothing for you, why and the side that is biological that's close to you, that is doing something, that is doing something for you, why would you not leave something for them? In my eyes, I don't really give a damn about nothing and none of that stuff. I really don't. I don't be getting asked about none of this stuff. I don't. Because at the same time, we all got to start from somewhere. We do. I don't give a damn if I have to have school chairs in my first place. I will have them. Best believe it. And I probably have a table. You may have, now I ain't gonna lie, you may have to hold your plate in your lap. But at the same time, you need to put that down. Get that out your mouth. Oh, it's just a lid. But at the same time, I still I'm gonna get whatever I need to get. Everything is a process to me. So therefore, I can choose to speed up the process or whatever I may choose for I can get whatever I need from my own place. I don't have to have anybody, old stuff and that stuff that's been passed down from years to years and generations to generations. I don't have to have that stuff. I'll take about 1 or 2 pieces and I'm okay. Some folks think that you can have you can keep all that stuff somewhere. That's another bill in my eyes. I will sell it in a heartbeat, sell things in the inside of the property. You should know. I feel like whoever believes something, you never should sell it. You should, rent it out. Because it's saying, what if you have an issue at your place and that house may be available right there for you. You can go right on. You can move right on in and handle your business. I'm just saying, that's the truth. Forget trying to get some extra money on that tip when it comes to business like that. That's not smart. That's another way of I just don't want to fuck with it, so I'm gonna just get whatever I can get and move my ass. That's not. I wouldn't go that route. I don't give a damn if it was a vehicle. Now, if I don't want it, and if I don't want to look at it anymore, yeah, I can go. But at the same time, I still want something for it. I will. I would. Shoot. I mean, who is giving their stuff away for the Lord? Some people can if you want to help somebody out, but I prefer to charge. Charge their asses up. Charge them up. Hell, because the white folks gonna charge you, and the black folks, and the Chinese, and the Africans. They gonna all charge our asses up. It's we lucky we can't get a bargain. Sometimes we got to pay the full price. Shoot. Yeah, I'm just saying. And it may look so good, but sometimes you don't need to, certain. Well, I would say go to certain stores to get something, kind of pricey. But they still got, you can pay it off. They do like I forget what they call them things, but just pay it, pay it off every month. Give a or give a donation every month, whatever they call it. But yes, indeed, that's a smart way to do it. But I sure wouldn't sell no property. But my thing is, if I had a property, and I was getting up in age, and I don't even think I was gonna be here too long, I would be look. I would who was around that I love and trust, and I know that can handle the business, and I know that's gonna do the right thing with it, and not have this motherfucker beat the fuck down, looking like a bando. Or knowing somebody still up in that bitch too, I mean, like, lead. I see houses like that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, somebody up in that bitch. That's kind of what I thought at first. When I first seen some nasty, ratchet ass houses, and these people was up in them bitches. But if whoever I know they got a good head on their shoulders and know how to handle business, shit. Because I'm still learning the process. That's a lot I gotta soak up. And I know what my mother or my mom mean, but at the same time, don't do that because I'm grown. If I want to watch what I want to watch, and you think that is garbage, okay, I can't help that, but I don't think it's garbage. Because at the same time, you got content creators out here that will talk about other things besides, like, beefing and all the time. Hell, you got people on here that's trying to put you on some money and how to, how to manage certain shit so you can have some money in your pocket. I done seen those channels. Okay, and I done been in attendance. Even though I was a little lost in the sauce, but I still was there. Like, I don't listen to people talk about real shit. Hell, I listened to one of my favorite country creators that was talking about, because she heard a country creator say something about houses. And I don't think I should bring that up, but it was funny because they don't have titles, they have deeds. Oh my goodness. Oh my, that was funny as hell. No one taught me that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Until I heard first, look, I heard that a couple of years ago. But no one never really just sat down and talk about that with me. And I'm still, now since I'm with somebody that's into that business, and that is a bit, really own a lot, and I ain't gotta go into details about that, but just know if anything was to happen, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. And there's certain things that I can face. So for all the naysayers out there, go right ahead and believe what you want to believe. Okay. Don't let what you see on YouTube fool you. Okay, I'm just saying, don't let it fool you. Because what the next person can soak up and learn, hey, all I gotta do is just put my mind to it and just focus and listen and try to learn something other than other bullshit that I don't need to be really putting in my mind. But I know how to cut, like I said, or I think I said that I think yesterday on another video. But I know how to cut shit off, trust and believe. And I know how to watch things that can educate me. That's what they don't know either. I'm not just sitting around all the time. If I want to, I can do it. But there are times where I do look up other stuff that I like to learn about words and, and punctuation, all that stuff, shit that I was supposed to get back in, a couple of years ago. But, shit, sometimes a lot of that shit I kind of forgot. I still know certain things, but sometimes it's a blur to me, which is sad to say, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? How honest I can be about that. But at the same time, I don't want people thinking that I'm just some ditzy nigga. Like, what the hell? If you want to think that all you want to. I mean, that doesn't make me cry on my pillow at night. I can say some really real things that has happened that would have make you want to shed a tear and go get me a counselor or a therapist. But y'all know how I feel about that, and I already spoke about that. I didn't too much need to really go too far fetched with that one either, because if I would, like I said, if I had an issue, I would let the world, I'll let everybody know. I won't let the world know, but if I take care of my shit behind the scenes, I just want to be like, hey guys, guess what I'm doing today? And then I'm talking about shit again, getting emotional and letting the world see all that. Because there's certain things you supposed to let the world see, and really anybody see, So, I'm one of those people where if I want you to see it, I'll let you see it. But if I don't, you're not gonna see it. That's why they ain't really been so far. Well, a lot of the haters, they haven't really been really been so able to go so deep with me about certain things, because they already know I don't give a damn. Continue to talk. I want you to continue to talk about me so I can have more subscribers, and I ain't, y'all know I don't care about numbers, but hell, if the numbers gonna go up, let them go up, and them thumbs ups. I appreciate that. That put me out there for more people to come over and listen. Get a good old chuckle, get a message, you may even cry. Yeah. You may even cry. It ain't nothing wrong with it. I look better out than in. Some folks be holding that shit in. Hey, get back over here. Get back over here now, Cass. Now. But yeah, some folks be holding that shit in. I be saying, let that shit out. I let mine out whenever I'm not feeling okay about something, or whatever's on my mind. Shit, if it make me mad to the point where I just like, I need to release, I release. Ain't nothing wrong with release. I feel like when you release, it's all that negative shit that you had inside of you, is released. It's released. Let that, let it go. If you let a couple of small problems go, whether you was with a man or a woman, you can let any other stuff go. I know sometimes when you're in it, don't feel like you can, but it's something, sometimes eventually you can let certain things go. Just like I think any type of object that you may have so much, whether it was a certain picture frame, you know, a dish, anything. Sometimes you have to let certain shit go. A lot of shit that I miss, but that shit gone. I don't know what the hell. So whoever house is in now, they got it. I don't. Shit, I'm gonna let some more shit go too. 'Cause I need to clean out my motherfucking closet. I had to clean all that shit out. I'm finna have a new wardrobe. It may look like I'm wearing the same stuff with the look outfits, but hey, I don't give a damn. Different color. Look, as long as it's a different color, I'm good. I ain't got time to be out here buying clothes and clothes and clothes. Hell no, I gotta eat. Shit, I gotta eat. And then also have money to get around to my appointments. Hell, I got an appointment coming up in September that I need to make. Well, before September, really August. I think I may get it done in August. I think I'm gonna get it done after my birthday. Get it done in August because I gotta get some dental work done. Baby, I'm get that what 350. Then I gotta pay another deposit. I got it, which is $100. Just to even have all this stuff done. Yeah, I've been reneging on that shit. Then I gotta get my motherfucking glasses. Yes, it's a lot of things I'm trying to handle before some things change. Because there was some things that I seen that I don't want to talk about because they'll try to make that a topic that I don't even want nobody to really know about. I don't know if they do it. I don't know if they just only doing it here. But it's some stuff that I heard that I was not too happy about. It's some BS to me. They already done got to the stamps. And so they won't have the nerve to go on to another bill. Damn. What more do you want? That's why it's important for everybody to take care. Hold on. That's why it's important for people to take care of themselves so you don't have to go to the hospital. You know. And it's all right to go to the hospital, but I feel like when you're feeling okay, you ain't got no aches and no pains, feeling like a good old 20-year-old, you know, you can go for a checkup. I know it sounds like I really hate saying that because people say you gotta go, and I know you should go. It's important just to make sure everything is, even though you may not feel it, it still can be there. So it's like it can be a silent killer. So, let me, I need to change that. So yeah, it's important just go in there for a checkup. But I don't like hospitals, and I don't like going back and forward to them because there was something happened to me a long time ago, and I don't like it because I feel like when someone passed away when I was there with them, it's like acting, and I know that's their job, but they kind of can't. I don't know. For me, it just seemed very very fake. And sometimes you expect people to care, but I know I couldn't expect them to care. I don't know what. I don't know. So I guess I was just my headspace or my mindset was kind of a little different. I don't know. I was just like, damn. Sometimes you expect that love, but it was okay. It was okay because yeah, that person had to, that person was sick, so he had to go to glory. But my ass, I seen people laughing. I'm like, damn, you just in the room telling us this and that about my love. Yeah, and I see niggas smiling and shit. I'm like, damn, I can't even smile. I just lost somebody that I really love, and I was close with, But I have let that go. But yeah, I probably should never brought that up. But that's really how I felt at that moment. But I totally get it now. It's just a profession at the end. They can't feel sorry for the world. So it's like someone in the ambulance that's got an ambulance job. You know, they can't. It's sad to say they see a lot of stuff like the police. Ugh, I would hate to be that person to see a lot of that. But without having those titles and those job titles, you can just walk out your door and you can see that in your areas. It depends on where you're at. You know, it depends on where you're at in the state. I'm not saying just for here, anywhere, because there's no escaping crime. I don't know why sometimes folks think that it's gotta have some money to escape that shit. Alongside people that has money. Hey, get over here. Get your butt over here now. Hurry up and get over here. Hurry up and get over here now. Hear him, Cass. Get over here now. But I never understood how some people that's not from the hood would want to be hood. I don't get that. Like, are you serious? Do you know what it's like to be in a house being shot up? I do. Like, that wasn't no fun. Living in a 2-story house and the house got shot up because 2 people. You know why? 2 people were shooting at each other in a car. Thank God we was upstairs, but it was still, a bullet or 2 came upstairs too, close by the window where me and my sister was laying our heads at some point. But we was not there at the time, so we was in my mama's room watching television. I think we was all there that time. Yeah, that stuff was crazy. Like, I don't know how people want to move to, you know, ratchet areas. You know, be around people that don't know how to act. I'm not judging, but y'all know what it is. Cause that shit be getting on my motherfucking nerve. Like, damn, I don't like that. You can be yourself, but damn, can we have some manners? Can we like what happened to the morals and the values? Like shit, what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing somebody that's immature. Get back over here. Somebody that's immature. I don't understand that. Mm-mm. And sometimes it can be someone that's way older than you and someone way younger than you acting like that. hmm That's why I always choose to hang around people that was a little older than I was. You know, because I don't like people. I just couldn't stand being around some of my peers and me knowing how they can be. You know, it's like, damn. Now, don't get me wrong. I know people that are older than I am can be like that too. But it depends on where you go in the company that you keep. But when you know a certain crowd and people that are certain ages, went to school with these people. You may know their cousin, their mama, their sisters and brothers, and you see how they act. You like, damn, see where you get it from. And then you go out and all of a sudden you see their ass in a brawl. And like, damn, these niggas always fighting. These girls always get throwing their hands. Like, damn, you don't get tired yet. It's girls here now that done went viral, and they will fight, and niggas too. Like, oh my goodness, some niggas love to shoot. Like they ain't. I think those are the ones that really ain't really trying to really get down like that, which is understandable because I don't like fighting. Fighting hurts after a few days later. Well, they do really the next morning. Oh my goodness, your body feels very very you're like a little achy. But some of these niggas out here, they'll shoot you. I'm sure it's everywhere too. But I done seen the video, been around a few of the shit. A few certain individuals. That had Dracos and other stuff. Like, oh my goodness, I'm glad I'm not with you guys. I'm just here to get something for the time being, and see you about your way. I hit you up if I get some more clientele. hmm That was never really me, to be exact, because I would never ever hang around people that would put my life in danger. I ain't gonna lie, they can call me scary all they want to. I'd have been around the block. By that I mean, I've been around people that was like that. hmm But it wasn't for too long. You know, I had to get the hell away from around. But when I'm ready to go, baby, I'm ready to go. I can't sit around, sit around and then you got strange people walking in and out. You don't know these people. You don't know what they got on them. That was even like we hotel called the Acme. And when I tell you, it was just prostitutingville, cocaine dealing, slanging. Oh my goodness! I was laying in bed with a. Oh my goodness! I shouldn't say that. But hell, it was what it was. It was some things that I was just amazed at. Like, even though I knew it was going on, I just haven't been around it in certain places. Because coming from that, when you get away from around that, you don't try to go back to that. You know, that's just my story from living in certain areas here. You know, you don't want to go back to them places because you know what comes along with that area. People break into your house, shooting, you know, shit like that. Ugh, you want to go through that. Then you got to deal with people on the left and the right of you. On both sides. And they, that somebody may be doing the most. It's a lot of shit that could happen, and that has happened that you may not even want to go back to. Like, that was no fun. I rather grew up in the country than living in the city in certain areas because it was, it wasn't peaches and cream. Mm. But God made a way, you know, and I'm gonna try my best to stay out of that area and them certain zones here. Shit, taking my shit, looking at me trying to get something started. These niggas around here, they just want to fight. I don't understand it. Get into it with something. The young ones, from what I seen, the young ones, I can't stand them young ones. Oh, I cannot stand them. They don't go to bed until 3 in the morning, blasting music, fireworks. Oh my goodness, crowded, all in the streets for what? Take your nasty ass home. I have a problem with certain niggas and niggatry, I ain't gonna lie to you. Ugh. Coming around singing a song that you ain't got no music to. What the hell? What's wrong with you? That song is embedded in you. That spell is embedded in you that much. You rap into it and you bring it, you moving your fingers and hands and shit. Like, well, okay. That's you. That would never be me. I don't want that representation of me. You look crazy. And it's so easy to look crazy out here. I want to look sane. I don't want to look insane. I'm just saying. And some folks be looking at hot ass mess. Not to judge them, but it's just like, damn, you really came out looking like that. Mm. Sometimes I have to check myself. Hey, you may be feeling comfortable, but nigga, you need to change your clothes. You are going out. Cause I have that bad. I give me some. I put a shirt on that I don't really too much wear out. Only at the house. Wear my. And I give me some long pants. Maybe with some shorts. And shit, I'm comfortable. Yeah. I ain't trying to impress I ain't trying to impress nobody, but that's just kind of like what I like to wear sometimes. Even though I have an image on Instagram as if I'm just some nigga that can, kind of put certain things together so it can look good. I look kind of preppy, but shit, them niggas already knew. Shit, give me a t-shirt, give me some shorts, give me some socks. I'm learning to wear socks more because I walk out and walk out barefoot sometimes. If I'm at the house, just talk on the phone. But I'm learning you can't do that. But at the same time, I did hear that shit. You are connecting with the earth. So hell, which one is it? I think it's you connecting with the earth, feeling the energy. Mm-hmm. Remember, we are just spiritual beings living a human experience. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I love it. And I don't want it to end so soon because we need to live. I hope we can, I'll be asking, our Heavenly Father can, I want, can we just continue to get more years on this earth? I do right. I know I'm going to have to cut off a lot of cut a lot of things that I do enjoy. But it's all right. You got to change. You got to change for him. But yes, indeed. You guys, I have enjoyed myself, and it's time for me to get up on out of here. You guys be blessed and not stressed. I thank you for coming on through and listening to me. It really means a lot. A lot of the times, you guys can either click on the things that you want to hear, and maybe you may, look, you may want me to talk about, but even if I don't talk about it, you guys are still here, and that means a lot to my soul and really my heart. So I thank you for listening to me. You guys, I gotta get some sleep. It's time. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna eat tonight. Shit, I gotta get up. Ugh, I gotta set my alarm clock. Well, I had to come outside, smoke something, because shit, my back was hurting. But these hands ain't gonna be hurting tomorrow. I'm gonna try to look. I'm gonna be doing shit in unison. Give me three of them. What they call it? It's like the base of the bag. Yeah, yes, it's a basket. Give me 3 baskets. Give me 3 bears. Give me them, and the snacks. I'll put that shit together. Give me 3 coloring books. Give me some bubbles, baby. I know how to do it. Don't get me wrong. I know how to do it. I just don't like doing it. I just need an easy concept. Because when you can do something the same over and over and over again, you'll be done. You go right through that shit. That's why I need my YouTube people on here talking. Since it's trash, well, since it's garbage, I don't give a damn. I love my garbage. Okay, and these folks they may come off as crazy, but they ain't that damn crazy. Because if they was, we wouldn't be watching certain individuals, just certain ones, only certain ones. Shit. But I feel like we all got a little tick boom boom crazy in us. Certain ones, that they show there's more than others. I used to be ones that I wouldn't like to show it, but that quickly changed when life started happening. It did. It did. It quickly changed, and I'm glad it did, because I probably be, I probably would be in a different headspace. Thinking it's my problem. No, nigga, wake the fuck up. Snap out of it. It's they problem, you know. When it comes to people when it comes to respect, you know, and made some bad choices, but I know not to do those things again. But at the same time, not being forced to do anything out of my will. And if that means that we can't be cool, that's okay with me. I love being free. I will never ever risk doing things that I know I should not do ever again for nobody. That's why I'm glad I made those decisions. That I did make them. You know what I made for the time being, because see, some people will love to get you caught up in certain things, and like somebody told me, and it stuck with me. It was like, that ain't your friend. And me being a person that know people for a long time, sometimes I think, like, yeah, they cool, but then, and as life goes on, months, weekdays, years pass, that those people can change, especially when you not being that joyful person around them. You could be that person around them, but if you're not being that person that is agreeing to certain things or is risking certain things, they don't want nothing to do with you. You know? I don't know. Hmm. But hell, I got another friend that ain't never left me. Ain't never left me. Mm-mm. Y'all know him. He's famous. hmm Some people are scared to say his name, but he's famous. Y'all know the world's gonna see him again. Everybody's gonna see him again. And when they do, all the naysayers, don't cry and run now, because you got to deal with him and his father. On that note, you guys, I gotta go. Peace.